Good morning. It's the AM show with Amy Bennett, and I hope you are doing well. It's so exciting to be back with you. This morning, oh my goodness, I had a crazy day yesterday. I mean, my calendar was jam-packed, and this morning I was really tempted to keep thinking about yesterday and to really keep replaying yesterday and kind of sitting in yesterday. And the Lord just said to me, yesterday is yesterday, and today is today. Yesterday is yesterday, and today is today. And the verse that came to my mind was from Hebrews 12, that we need to fix our eyes on Jesus. And so I just wanted to start there to read. So I'm going to start Hebrews 12 and then 1. It's a very familiar passage. It's one of my favorite ones. I believe that I've talked on this one before, but let's go for it. Therefore, since we are surrounded by such a great cloud of witnesses, let us throw off everything that hinders and the sin that so easily entangles, and let us run with perseverance the race marked out for us. Let us fix our eyes on Jesus, the author and perfecter of our faith, who for the joy set before him endured the cross, scorning its shame, and sat down at the right hand of the throne of God. Consider him who endured such opposition from sinful men, so that you will not grow weary and lose heart. And then I'm going to skip a little bit down to 7. It says, endure hardship as discipline. God is treating you as sons. And then in verse 10, God disciplines us for our good, that we may share in his holiness, that it produces a harvest of righteousness and peace. And then at the very end, it says, therefore, strengthen your feeble arms and weak knees. Make level paths for your feet, so that the lame may not be disabled, but rather healed. And I was kind of skipping all through 12. But if you want to go back later today, read Hebrews 12, 1 through 13. It's incredible. It has been something special to me for the past few years. My word of the year was focus, I think 3 years ago. And this whole, it was focus, and then I think fly. I have it even written in my Bible here. Fly was a word that I related to these. So these verses have meant so much, and it just brought back everything that God has taught me from this. And it's, when God says yesterday is yesterday, today is today, because we have a race to run today. He has plans for us today, and it is a race that is not easy. And this is the picture that he gave me. I actually drew it in my journal. I feel like I have a whiteboard over here. I should get my whiteboard. I'm such a visual person, so this is the picture. Is that we have this race that is like a straight line, right? We have this race that is a straight line, and at the end of it is obviously our eternal. What is that? Heaven. Okay, heaven's at the end. But what we are really striving for is holiness. We are striving for holiness. We are striving for righteousness. We are striving for peace. And the point of that is also that we are working out our salvation. God calls us to work out our salvation, but also it's for others. At the end of what I read, it says, make level paths for your feet, so that the lame may not be disabled, but rather healed. It's not just for us. We're running our race for other people, so that they can be healed. And I believe that is physically. I believe that spiritually. And so it is important today what we do. And as we run this race, there are two things that can distract us, right? There's two things on either side. One is the sin that so easily entangles, and anything that hinders. And we are called to throw that stuff off, guys. So there's going to be some stuff that's not really sin, that's going to hinder us. So I think there's some things that aren't really bad in and of themselves, but it's going to hinder us from running our race today. What are the things that are distracting you that are not necessarily sin, but they're not helping you fix your eyes on Jesus? For me, for a long time, it was TV. I had to, and I'm not saying I don't watch TV. I'm binge watching a show. My husband and I, when we're together, that's what we do. We are binge watching a show together. For a long time, I didn't watch TV. I didn't watch anything, because that had been what I would call a stronghold in my life. It was totally distracting me from God. And I had to give that up. And I had to make a conscious choice to say, if I'm going to run this race and I have to fix my eyes on Jesus, I have to for a season just totally give that up. It was hard, and it took many, many years. So I think there's some things that we have to throw off, that hinders us. And then I think there's some things that are sin that is entangling us, that is taking away our focus off of God in our race today. So many of you know my story about my emotional affair and just the sin of that and a relationship that was not good. Some of us there might be sin. I don't know if it could be pornography. I don't know if it could be gambling. It could be shopping and, it could be something financial. I don't know. There could be some sin that is entangling you today that you that's what you need to focus on in order to focus on Jesus and running your race. Okay, so there's these things that are on our part, right? So that's the line, and we have things on our part, whether it's hindering us, whether it's sin, it's the consequences of our sin that we are having to deal with. And then there is the other things that is distracting us. It feels like a distraction, and that is opposition that we come against, and that is hardships, the hardships in our lives. But what Hebrews is telling us is that those hardships are appointed in your life as discipline. And God is allowing it in your life as discipline because those things are going to teach you how to be more holy. They are going to bring up the things that are not holy in your life, and it's going to like bubble up, and you're going to see it, and you're going to go through this hard thing. And then what we have to do is we have to endure. We have to endure. And a lot of people say, well, if I'm getting rid of the sin, I'm getting rid of all the things that are bad in my life, then my life should be easy. It says to consider him, consider Jesus. Jesus had zero sin, no sin, and he endured opposition. He endured opposition. So that tells me if Jesus can be perfect and yet still face opposition and hardship, that I'm going to face that too. And he's going to use it for good. And it says he endured such opposition from sinful men, resisting to the point of shedding blood. I mean, we have sinful people around us. We have a broken world around us. We are going to face hardship. But it says, consider it as good. Can we even think about thanking God for the hardships that we're going through? Because we know that it is bringing good. And it's telling us to just fix your eyes on Jesus. Remember why we're doing this. It is bringing you to a place that of holiness, of righteousness, of peace, so that others can be healed. It's not just for your own salvation, but it's so others can be healed too. And that's just naturally how God's kingdom works. As one person healed, it just goes out to other people. You just can't help but share when you're healed and when you're changed. It affects other people. We are meant to be in community. We impact other people. It's just when we are healed, other people are going to be healed too. It's just the way God's kingdom works. And so today, what I just wanted to challenge us all. Where are we in that? I mean, I think we all are in all of that every day, right? What are the things that are just hindering us, that the race we have to run today, we need to just throw off. We just don't need to do it today. What is the sin that is entangling us that is stopping that? And then what are the things in our life that are hardships that we need to have a different view of today, that we need to be thankful for today, that we need to, as it says, don't grow weary and lose heart. Be strong and have a strong heart because of those things, because you know that it is working it out for good for you and for others. And so that just encouraged me so much today. And I hope it does you too. I always come back when I don't know, this chapter, I just always come back to it. I think it's just going to be something that always encourages me throughout life. And so maybe you can mark that in your Bible and study it and see what God would say to you through that. I think we're all on these journeys in different places, and it's going to be different for all of us. But what else did I want to say? Oh, I did want to tell you, okay, I just want to say hi. Let me say hi to people. Okay, Marie, Annette, Gina, Michelle. Oh my goodness. Okay, I'm like getting stuck on this thing. Amy, Carrie, good morning. Gina said that's why I do not fear is 360 times in the Bible. Yes. Fear is another thing that definitely God has taken me through a journey for. If you look back at my old blog, my personal amyjbennett.com, I mean, I talked about it so much, and that is definitely something that we struggle through is fear. Fear of what's going to happen, fear of things that God is calling us to do. Y'all, I even faced fear getting on this live video yesterday morning. I mean, it's just something I'm like, okay, I see it. I just got to keep going. Like, I've learned the fear is probably not going to go away. And honestly, and I don't want to get into a whole other thing, but honestly, I've seen that the fear is usually where God is working. And I'm like, oh, fear, that must be something good over there. And it almost like draws me to it now, because I know that it must be something God is pulling me towards. Michelle says, reaction and anger throws me off. Need to breathe and pause. Oh my gosh. That's another thing that has definitely been in this season for me too, is anger. And honestly, that's where I talked yesterday about the counseling. That's what I needed to understand through counseling, is why, and there's certain things that were triggering me continually, and I was overreacting, and that's where counseling came in for me, is that I did the work with God in prayer, and then it was time to get some help, just to understand, and it has really helped. It's really helped. So anyway, the other thing I wanted to tell you guys about is that I have a new podcast episode out today. Her name is Erica Willis. I talked about it a little bit yesterday. It is incredible. I'll have to talk about this another morning. Maybe I'll talk about it tomorrow. But if you listen, make sure you listen to the end, because I talk about how that conversation with her has impacted me just over the last week. So maybe I'll talk about that another day this week. But the fact that I am sitting here is a result of that conversation I had with her. So it was so impactful for me. Okay. I think I've been going for a while here. I need a clock in my office so I can tell what time it is. But I hope this was encouraging to you guys. It was so fun yesterday to think about coming back on today, and that we are meeting here. So the other thing I might be figuring out, we have Instagram friends, so we have the Instagram account, and I might be setting up like a second video so they can get in there's a lot of people that don't get on Facebook, they just on Instagram, figuring out how to like be able to bring them into the conversation. I got to figure that out. So anyway, if you guys are on Facebook and you actually prefer Instagram, I actually would like to know that too. I'm just trying to see where people are and go there and try to meet those needs wherever you are. So I think that's it for today. I hope you guys have a wonderful day. Run your race, fix your eyes on Jesus, and have a great day. We'll see you back tomorrow.